Is Kingpin's debuff damage scaling broken? We investigate. Parry Dex issues 3 weeks on. Where's the hotfix? What is going on? And Alliance Wars game crash issues when doing defense tactics. Oh, and we got arena results, of course. What is indeed up, everybody? Welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Monday. I'm back from a little vacation. Which, yes, whilst Marvel Contest of Champions is literally having its worst performing month in a very long time, it's important to take a little bit of a break, but also it's important for me to see my grandparents in what is a very kind of like bad time. But yeah, if you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram, links in the description down below. And don't forget to hit the like button as well as the subscribe button with post notifications on. Oh, thank you. And just before we get into the news, we've got to give a little bit of thanks. So thank you so much to everybody that supports the channel through Patreon and as well as a YouTube member. You're on screen now. Thank you so much for keeping the love and support as I do this as a full-time venture. But also, there's a support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. I should be returning back to live stream tonight, so hopefully get to see you later on in that. Thank you very much to those who give the Prime Gaming each month. That's the free Amazon Prime sub. If you have an Amazon Prime account, then please give me that sub. That'd be very kind of you. But also those that give gifted subs and as well bits and donations. Now the time has come to be serious, and we've got to talk about serious things because there's stuff that's not going down well in the game. It is, as I said, a very, very rocky time for the game. I've played the less of this game this month as I ever have, and I'm quite behind with the monthly stuff, but that's just the thing. With the ongoing instability issues, the fact that the game isn't in a good standing at the moment, and we're still in so many things going wrong with Parry and Dex, it is putting a very sour taste in the mouth of players, which we're going to talk about in a coming up story. But first of all, game crashes when trying to set defense tactics. It seemed to be over the weekend and as well when we ending the point. We're in the off season at the moment for Alliance Wars, and you know, players want to do indeed that. There seems to be ongoing issues with it. Last Thursday, players were remarking on this. So they go and select the defense, or at least trying to place a defense, and then they find that the screen goes dark and you're unable to move. It just crashes the device. This particular bug seems to be centered around various different tiers, so it's not like tier specific. So then it kind of like points out, is this device specific? What is the thing that's going on this? Or is this alliance specific? Or what, which would probably be something to do with like, is it location specific? God damn, there's so many specific natures to bugs nowadays. Now it does seem from many people commenting on this thread, especially over the last few days, that this was something to do with iOS devices, and it's really hard to tell what exactly could be the problem with that. Could it be something that's affected by some other things going on, like, you know, the Parry Dex beta, which is something that I think predominantly is affecting those of iOS. But that's not to say that Android are not experiencing this, because let's face it, everybody experiencing different things, different devices at different times with the game. So compatibility, hey. And Kabam did say, hi folks, our team has taken a quick look into this and have not found any issues on our end so far. Can anyone confirm that they're still experiencing these issues, etc, etc, and what device? Again, yada yada. But then yeah, like most people are kind of saying that this seems to be a very iOS specific issue. But then interesting, just tested it right now, same on Android with Wi-Fi. So some people with Android are experiencing exactly the same thing. In any case, it goes on and on up until the point of, say, yesterday, and maybe like, say, yeah, like 25th there. I confirmed that it's still an issue before the placement phase. But very weirdly, that this has actually been, well, closed. So yeah, unusual. Unless they're treating this as some kind of specific based issue to the player as opposed to being just the device. This is very, very confusing. X64X says that there was an open ticket. Please, I'm not really sure Kabam is aware of the problem. So again, don't know if that, but then the reply back was to look at the troubleshooting, which is these various things here, like restart the app, recharge device. So, I don't know, there's multiple people kind of experiencing issues. I just don't know if this is something Kabam have said, like we've investigated and we find no issue, or they're kind of like still, like, you know, players are still saying this is an issue. It would be interesting to open up a new thread on this, especially, I don't know why this is being closed, especially because that, you know, there's still players that haven't really kind of like updated everything on this. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. It would be good if players would start a new thread on this, but as well, Kabam's going to answer some of the tickets that has been thrusted their way to kind of find out more about this. Are we working as intended? Are we not? Man, it is not good. Now, let's look at Kingpin's attack rating scales inconsistently with debuffs, rage, signature ability, etc, etc. I do like when people put together a really good structure of investigation for matters of champions, especially going into like forum posts, because it massively helps out myself and as well other players and Kabam as well to know exactly the evidence against what is going on. So Kingpin, what is going on? So Jas puts the following: Kingpin gains plus 933.3 attack, 30% for each debuff on him. At 8 debuffs, he purifies them all to convert them to an overpower buff, which grants him plus 7,777.5 attack, 250%. With a signature ability, he has up to 90% chance to gain 5 rage debuffs. After his overpower expires, in the video posted below, at one point I have 4 overpower buffs plus 1,000%, which totals at 31,000 plus 4,977 with suicide masteries. Yet one of my lowest hit deals only 1,970 damage. The video footage in particular does break down things very, very well. If you're not familiar with the interaction that is trying to be done against Adaptoid, which if you reach SP2, you get that power lock. It's like it was a debuff. It's like it's triggering. So maybe there's something to do with like the interaction based on here, this particular fight. That is how is the best way to describe it? Suppressing the abilities, not suppressing the abilities based on the interaction, but based on say a coding error or the type of node. And do bear in mind, just kind of point out like that there's so many nodes, there's so many interactions within Marvel Contest of Champions that the slightest thing that Kabam may have kind of coded a certain way, or the type of debuff that it is, whether or not it's classed as a true debuff, a debuff effect, a passive debuff, a really weird, understated, yet in the distance debuff, which Kabam, for whatever reason, have said that this month it interacts differently. It can mean that it kind of like skews off any kind of ability that champions do have. It's a weird game. When it comes to MCOC, a lot of times you just feel like I have to be along for the ride, and God hope Kabam get the game right this month to interact with either champions, nodes, and other things as well. But back to the point at hand. If there is within the champion's abilities the ability to scale in a certain way based on interaction from the debuffs, interaction with overpower, etc, etc, then yes, of course, you should be receiving, or you should be seeing, more damage potential as noted right here. One of the lasting dissection points is this here, which is the bug occurs in virtually every scenario where Kingpin can gain more than one overpower buff. This happens in Realm of Legends when Soldier fight 2, but the damage reduction slash inconsistency is only noticeable when you have more than 1 to 2 overpower buffs. It is far easier to show in this week's Summer of Pain as there's a constant debuff on you. So yeah, it is very much worth investigating. Do bear in mind with something like Summer of Pain and the way that it could be, as I said, potentially coded. It could be coded incorrectly, or there could be something when it comes to interaction based on a mistake that Kabam have made. So it could be not showing throughout other content. But it is very much something that a good amount of evidence has been presented right here to have a look into it. And I urge Kabam indeed to like have a quick look to make sure that the everything is scaling correctly in this particular regard. Now we do a special deep dive on the Parry Dex issues. As a lot of you know, playing this game over the last 3 weeks has been just rubbish really. An earlier sour taste in the mouth, which has lasted, well, you know, it does feel like we're going to be going into next week 1 month since we had Parry and Dex issues. Now, for a lot of players on various different devices, compatibility has been a huge issue for this game over the years. And more so as this has gone from less to being more of a casual fun game to more of a skilled grindy game, it's felt that everything with the game has to be on point. Especially when you tap something on screen, you expect it to happen, regardless if you're an iOS player or an Android player. It's really hard to think that we are now 9 days until the end of the month, and for me, I have done the less amount of grinding that I have ever done with this game. Normally, I smash out a lot of this content in the first week, and now I'm just kind of looking at and even looking at some of the content that I've not done, the endgame content, the stuff in Act 7.2 I was meant to finish off, and various other bits, including Arena, and I've just gone, this month, nah, not interested. But in any case, a lot of players have continued on regardless, and still kind of got stuff done, but that's just the thing. If that is just one of the key elements that is not there with the game, then, you know, your enjoyment just goes. But in any case, like, what have Kabam done? Well, as a lot of you know, they've been doing the beta test for the Parry Dex bug hotfix, which seems to have like gone for a long time. It's also exposed a lot of the performance improvements by being in that beta versus being in the live game. Again, got to further explain that. And you may be wondering, like, when is a hotfix likely to come out? And the answer is, I do not know. The last time I found out from Kabam any kind of info on this was that more data and feedback was being analysed, and that was on the 22nd of July, which was 4 days ago. So I gotta be honest, I think this will probably come out with a new build and be released for the start of next month. So that's just my personal thoughts and opinions on that one, as I just kind of think time is going on and it makes more sense for that, as it just will mess up everything if they go, okay, here's a new update, oh yeah, here's a hotfix straight after. So that would be like built on the older, so it just you'd have like updates or kind of like misconstrued and everything just not working correctly. So that's my personal thought there. I don't see this coming out until the normal 8 days from now. But here's the thing, with this info coming on the 23rd of July about the delaying of things and compensation and other stuff, delay of Summoner Showdown, as we want to ensure that everybody is able to play the best of their abilities, we will be delaying the start of the Summoner Showdown until after the hotfix is available. Well, that was delayed into the 26th of July, so that's meant to be today. So is it going to be live or is it not? That's going to be something we'll find out. While we're eager to start this year's Showdown, we do not believe that we should do that until the fix for the issue is in place. And if it's a case like they either are working around the clock, it's either going to be hotfix today, but as I said, like, I personally don't have much trust in that based on, well, this situation, and I kind of feel it's going to be live either like next week sometime when the new update comes in, or as I said, it's going to be a surprise today, between today or next week. But apart from that, I don't think that's the case. Compensation. Many of you have asked, and we confirm we'll be working on compensation for this issue once it's been addressed. I don't think it will be the extent of what people will think it's going to be, as let's face it, that's usually what it is what it is. We can measure the impact that it has had on the game and our players, on the players that they've lost as a result of this particular issue, because that's the other thing as well. Players will be turned off and want to play other things. And it won't be specific to any player. If you're doing any in-game content, you're not going to find you're compensated adequately. Prior to that, it's always been the case though, that's always been the case. Like, it's compensation for certain stuff has not been dedicated to the player itself, it's just been like an accumulation of info. Pack of potions revives at some point next week, and that, well, okay, is that and delivered. We also delivered, so that's coming then. So a compensation, I take my words back then, a compensation. Prior to that, we also planned on sending players a pack of potions and revives at some point next week. So we are getting that. Excellent. We do not anticipate having a delay any other content, though we will not start the next season of Alliance Wars until the fix is available, which really appreciate your patience, yada yada. And I guess that's really where we're up to with that. So that's been a little bit of a deep dive on that particular situation, and let's now move on to talking about arena results. And now we turn our attention to the final thing of coverage on a Monday, which is arena results and predictions. All predictions for round 2 are down below, but I need to go over the results so you know why exactly I'm coming from with doing the predictions that I do. So yes, people went high for these champions, and it is massively surprising, especially with the changes that have been done to the basic arena of late. All results and info is taken from actual true results, so that's obviously just to kind of clarify that. Position 90 with Strife as a 6-star was 64.3 mil. 49.2 mil got one position 180, which is the 5-star. 21 mil was enough to get a 499 position with a 5-star. This is why my predictions are as follows. Strife, which I did predict beforehand to being 80 mil, I am now dropping down to 70 mil. You know, it's not a huge amount of difference than I normally do on predictions, but look, people is putting in 64 mil to get position 90 in the basic. It's a time that is weird at the moment with the game, but it is what it is, and it is a sought after champion. It's an interesting and fun champion as well. The 5-star, I'm going with a 30 mil prediction, but it's up to you if you want to do a bit higher than that. I just feel that that will be a strong footing. And then Black Widow. Now, this is the thing that just blows my mind. This was a sought after collectible version, which is then pushing people's interests. 86.1 mil, position 99, which I think Alex did. So thanks, Alex, for sending that info in. And also 75 mil for position 128 just shows the extent of want and desire for that particular rare champion. The lowest of picking up the 5-star was at 37.7 mil for position 490. So it's like, yeah, you're going to have to do a bit of grinding. This is why my prediction for round 2 is 42 mil for the 5-star, and the 6-star is 90 mil. Can't believe I'm doing that. 70 mil I predicted first off, but people just went high for that collectible champion. Surprising, but not surprising in this day and age of the game. And there we go, that has been the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Monday. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe for more, which we'll be posting a lot this week, especially if we go into new update, and hopefully we get the hotfix today. If not, I will probably say it won't be in for another week, but it is what it is, it was what it was, and we'll see what happens later on. Cheers everybody, bye bye.